Next up in this session is a short panel discussion with our two platinum partners. We are going to talk about how to secure the right data flow for fleet efficiency. And we do that with Aliaksandr Kuushynau. He is the Chief Wialon Officer at Gurtam. Alexander, welcome.
Hi there. Hi,
How
Steven.
are you doing?
I'm really good. Really good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. And very happy to meet with you. And then our second panel member is Erik Maes. He is the Managing Director at Renta Solutions.
Good afternoon, Steven. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Erik. Erik, do you know Aliaksandr?
I know his company, Gurtam, but I've never met Alexander directly. No.
Okay. Alexander, can you confirm that you have never met with Erik?
I hope you do, huh?
Wow. That's not the question I'm prepared for. But I'm really pleased to meet Erik and you, Steven, here at the panel.
Okay, and hopefully we can also meet later on when we organize a face-to-face live session around connectivity so that we can meet in person. That would be great. I'm going to moderate a short panel discussion together with the both of you. And of course, if the audience has also some interesting questions for one of you or the both of you, they can submit it via the chat function. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I would like to start with a general question so that the audience can better understand who you are and what your companies are doing. And I would like to start with Aliaksandr. Aliaksandr, can you tell us what Gurtam is doing and what exactly is your solution, Wialon?
Okay, I do really like how you say Gurtam. Yeah, it's really Gurtam, and the solution is Wialon, and Wialon is a leading fleet management platform that provides comprehensive solutions for optimizing fleet operations. With 3.6 million vehicles connected and petabytes of valuable data, we are at the forefront of the industry. And we specialize in collecting and analyzing data from connected vehicles, enabling our customers to make informed decisions and improve their fleet efficiency. And our scope extends across various industries, including logistics, transportation, delivery services, and much more, including very, very niche solutions that are also run on the same platform altogether. Mm-hmm. So it's a big platform, and we work globally, 150 countries plus, where we already operate through the network of partners.
Okay, perfect. Erik, coming to you, Renta Solutions. I know it because I'm based in Belgium, but there are also people in the audience that might not know Renta Solutions and what you do exactly and what you can bring to the table in terms of fleet management efficiency. So what can you share about Renta Solutions?
Renta Solutions is indeed a company pretty known in Belgium and Luxembourg for many years. It's a company who started in 2004. We will talk about telematics and predictive maintenance. I could almost say that in 2004, we already started doing that. We'll talk about it more later. We have 5 platforms in the cloud, right? One which allows leasing companies and large fleet owners to buy their fleet, but also to maintain their fleet. So everything that is to do with maintenance, repairs, and tires goes through our platforms, at least in Belgium and in Luxembourg, but also in France. Then we have 2 other products. One which is the invoicing, like as Eubank said, for their customers, and also for fines management. Imagine a large fleet, they get a lot of fines, or at least their drivers drive a lot of fines. We have a platform so that the fine directly goes to the driver instead of the plate holder, which saves a lot of administrative burden. Who are our clients? And I would almost say twofold. On the one hand, we have fleet owners and the big leasing companies, ALD, LeasePlan, and so on. But we also have their suppliers, look at their dealers, the OEMs, as clients, right? So we basically connect those two parties so that they can efficiently work together. We also have some services for short-term renters, such as Europcar, Hertz, Avis, and so on. So we really make a distinction between long-term and short-term, and depending on what type of company you are, we have different offerings.
Good. Continuing with you, Erik. How do you use data and make it as tangible as possible for your customers? Because we heard already from previous events that data as such has not much value. It's what you do with it and how you can create value. That is the thing where it's all about.
Yes. Maybe before answering the question, where do we get the data from? Because I just mentioned with one of our platforms, MRT, we actually get maintenance and repair data. We get it from the OEMs directly on the one hand, right? So upfront, they tell us a certain car, this is what you can expect as far as maintenance intervals and costs associated with it. On the other hand, when the car goes to the dealer itself, then the dealer talks to our system and requests, can I do X, Y, Z on the car? And that's a second point where we get the data. So look at what our platform contains. It contains OEM data and actual live data coming from the cars. And we'll go into telematics to see how we can improve that. But for many years now, this is how we work. We have data since 2004. And what we're doing right away or right now, or what we have in place, is what we call insights in that data. Manuel from Ubench talked about it. Yes, we collect that data, of course, since many years. We're actually analyzing. We also spoke about artificial intelligence, and we're looking how to increase the intelligence and to see certain patterns in all that data. But that's basically what we're doing today. Yeah.
Okay. And you, Alexander, how are you using the data and how do you make it as tangible as possible? Is it in the same way as what Erik described, or do we see it differently with Gurtam?
Oh yes, it is a really important questions. I believe how to use the data and how to make it available to the customers, right? Because it's not the terabytes of data that they need. They need the pieces of data that can help them, right, to make the correct decisions at a certain moment of time. And for sure, at Wialon, we understand that data alone is not enough. It is crucial to translate the data into actionable insights, that our customers, our fleet owners that use our platform would understand and utilize to improve their fleet operations. And for that, we have developed a comprehensive approach to make data tangible for our customers. Firstly, I should say that we get the data from various sources, including GPS tracking, different telematic devices, IoT sensors, and we are a software-only player, so we are device agnostic, and it's hundreds of types of devices, including aftermarket devices, including OEMs that comes into our platforms, and then we process this data using advanced analytics and visualization tools, and to make the data tangible, we present it in a user-friendly format, such as intuitive dashboards, reports, and interactive maps. Also, all the data, all the pieces of data that we have in the platform is available through APIs. So in many cases, the fleet owner would not even need to log into the platform itself to get the data he needs. So it can be BI systems, it can be ERPs, SAP, Oracle, anything what he uses daily. And our platform takes the data from the vehicle, takes the data from device, and forwards it into the correct place in a processed way. So this way, it makes the data really tangible and easier accessible for the fleet owners, for the users of our platform.
Mm-hmm. If you look a little bit at your activities and at your operations, what would you say is the biggest use case, Alexander?
Oh, if talking about use case, I would say that it's a really all the business spheres where transportation is used, starting with logistics and passenger transportation and the taxi services. It's like literally everywhere where you have fleets, where you have remote assets, and you want to optimize its performance. You want to have high efficiency on that. So we have a network of service providers who are installing devices, telematic devices, IoT devices, who would install sensors or connect telematic devices to the onboard sensors, be it a reefer, be it anything. And then those TSPs that are what we discussed initially, what Paul said initially, right now are the question of would they survive the changes in the telematics market or not. These days, TSPs, our service providers, they're playing a crucial role, I believe, because they are helping those fleet owners to get the data into the correct systems and to analyze the data and to assist them in making the correct decisions based on that.
Erik, if you look within Renta Solutions at the biggest use cases of your customers, is there something particular that you can say?
Yeah, it's a good question. Before talking about use cases, I will also have to talk about business cases, and you might come to that one later on, right? But if you now focus on the use cases, the way we see it is that we get the data rather retroactive, right? It's when the car actually goes to the dealership and goes for maintenance. Would it not be nice, and definitely more and more in the future, to talk about proactive maintenance, right? We spoke about it earlier on, in the sense that, and definitely with electrification, you will see that cars will go less and less to the dealer for any maintenance intervals. Even taking fuel or fueling your car today, you can still enter your mileage into the machine. Tomorrow, with electrification, electric cars, you just take electricity. So I think the biggest use case is definitely get mileage information in a proactive way, something that will disappear in the near future, as we believe, and definitely battery lifetime and residual value. And then I'm coming onto the notion of business case. Yes, the value is definitely there today. That's what we see. But are large fleet owners willing to pay for that? I mean, if you look at the prices, the OEMs tend to ask quite high prices for that data. We can talk maybe also hours about who's the owner of that data, right? But that's maybe another topic. But yeah, there are definitely use cases, even business cases. But if you talk about a fleet owner of around 100K cars, and you multiply that by the data price that you have to pay, yeah, the business case becomes relatively negative, right? But I think the main use cases that I see today is simply already getting the mileage from the car on a regular basis. That will help a lot on steering from the asset owner, from the leasing companies, towards certain specific goals, i.e., making sure that the residual value stays high and the TCO stays as low as possible.
Okay, clear. Erik, if you look at your customers, you work with big fleets. How can these customers increase the efficiency of their operations through connectivity?
As I said, connectivity from the car to their system is one element. But one thing I haven't really discussed, and this is what we're doing, based on specific data, we can start, or the idea is to make a connection with the driver himself, because ultimately in a long-term relationship, meaning a long-term rental company, the driver is still driving with the car. And as I said, the owner has less and less visibility on its own asset. So what we see and what we're trying to accomplish, and we're working on this really hard, is to actually establish a connection with the driver so we can start steering. So the insights will feed the steering module to say, driver, go to that dealership based on quality, on price, on distance, on availability, on certain parameters. So we're actually using all that data to steer more and more the asset towards a direction that is as beneficial and efficient for the asset owner, meaning the leasing company.
Okay. Aliaksandr, if I come to you and you look a little bit at your customers and how they use data, Is there something that you can mention that you say, well, if they would use it in this or that way, it would even make their operations more efficient and more seamless than today? So, what for you is, let's say, the biggest obstacle or mistake that your customers are making when using data?
Oh, that's really a good question. What mistake they're making when using data? I would openly say that the biggest mistake many fleet owners are making is that they are not using the data which is collected, which is gathered there. Because same what the our today's conversation started with, the technical possibility is already here, right? Software is able to collect tons of data, and we are able to provide all those the information and analytics and insights on the paper. We are able to provide it to the fleet manager. But then it is the approach that the company, either it is a fleet manager or fleet management company or a business owner, the decisions that he is able and he is willing to take based on the data that we have collected from the vehicles. Because sometimes those decisions are not that would be business decisions, right? Business decisions that are powered by the data that is collected through telematics. And sometimes telematics is the tool how those businesses are just they're opening their eyes on what is happening with the fleets, how many idling hours they're having, and how drivers are behaving or utilizing the vehicles. But then it is the question if the business owner is really able to make any steps further to use that information, even real-time data, not predictive one. But for sure, I mean, and speaking especially of Wialon, yeah, I would say that we have that focus on small medium enterprises, and there are several reasons for that approach. Yeah, because those companies, they often have unique challenges when it comes to fleet management, including limited budgets and smaller teams and need for cost-effective solutions, quite often all in one. And Wialon is designed to cater these specific requirements, providing quite affordable solutions, but that works not only for the bigger fleets, but for smaller players as well. But the crucial point is, once again, that's what I want to say to the companies who own fleets. If you are getting that data, yeah, be brave enough, be strong
Yeah.
enough to use the data. That's very important thing.
Okay. Erik, how do you foresee the future of predictive data management and fleet connectivity? With what role for your company, Renta Solutions?
Yeah, I think today the way I get the feedback from our clients, it's a little bit too early, right? However, if you look around, everyone's talking about telematics. I foresee that as soon as electrification gets up to speed more and more, and that's happening definitely in Belgium today, right? As of the 1st of June, July, we will get new fiscal elements and so on. I think they will come to us, and I would almost say it will come to us a little bit too late, right? I think today they're saying, where is the business case? It's always the same question. Where is the business case? As soon as the business case comes clear, and as I mentioned, with electrification, electric cars, and more proactive insights into your asset, it will explode. So this is why we at Renta Solutions, we are working on it today, despite that the clients say, yeah, it's maybe a little bit too early, but we're already preparing for that one. And I think everyone is getting there. Then we still have the issue, I wouldn't say the issue, but the challenge with the OEMs. At the end of the day, it's still the OEMs that control the asset today and and give you certain information and certain data. So I think we still have to look at the data ownership. But to answer to your question, Steven, we are working on it today.
Okay, good. I saw you nodding and confirming the answer of Erik, Aliaksandr. So I don't need to ask the same question to you, I presume.
Oh, I'm not, because we are like both Wialon and Renta Solutions and other companies who are on the technological side of that business. We are on the same side, and we do see the problems pretty similarly. Yeah, the question is the answers and the tools that we provide to the customers might be a bit different, but for sure the situation is it is. Yeah, and Eric supports my idea that it might be a bit too early to push that. But I do believe that in today's landscape, fleet managers, they often they're reporting sometimes to the individuals who may have some limited knowledge about fleet operations, and to accomplish the goals effectively, they might require access to the comprehensive and accurate data, and probably that is the place where power of predictive analytics might be crucial. Yeah, that might empower fleet managers to go beyond just simply reporting what has happened, right?
Mhm.
I mean, if it happened, it's okay, but if you're able to forecast and communicate the potential, then outcomes of certain actions might be taken or not taken. Yeah, and this level of insights that might grant fleet managers the ability to advocate for necessary changes in driver behavior and vehicle operations and everything. One thing, as I said, like if driver behaves this way, we can keep it as it is, because we do know about the driver shortage in Europe when we talk about the commercial vehicles, right? There is driver shortage, and you cannot push them, limit them. But if you can predict them, if you can educate the drivers, if you can involve them in all this process, that might be a tool that fleet managers might be using.
Okay. Final question for the both of you. I'll start with Aliaksandr. What can you share about your company that most people will not know and that they will be positively surprised about?
I'm really happy to join actually Global Fleet events and this event. Namely, and I don't think that there are many people who know Wialon and Gurtam, but what can be surprising for many of the out of the audience today is that you might not know Wialon and Gurtam, but you might end up using it these days, because we as a platform, we provide our solution in custom branded mode. So there are many, and out of 3.6 million vehicles, they're everywhere globally, and it might be that you're already using Wialon, but you're just not aware of that. And that might be really surprising.
Okay, good. And then people will now check if they are using your services, and they will let you know for sure. Eric, also for you, what don't we know about Renta Solutions that probably most people will be positively surprised about?
I think I've already mentioned it. I spoke about a steering module, trying to steer the driver to the right location. And to do that, of course, you need a digital communication with that driver. And we're working hard on a mobile app to actually communicate with the drivers, and with the insights we gather from the data, whether it's reactive or proactive via telematics. We actually want to make sure that the TCO and the residual value for the asset owner goes down, right? Of course, the residual value has to go up. But basically, we're working on a mobile app to have a direct communication with ultimately who's behind the steering wheel. But because data is nice, but if we all have civilized drivers who basically follow the rules, then everything becomes so predictive, right? I'm exaggerating a bit. We're trying to actually establish communication with the driver.
Okay, and when will that app be finished and launched?
We will do that in phases, of course. The first version should be Q3 this year, latest Q4. And then we have several releases in that one. But we're extremely excited to launch that anytime soon. Yes.
Okay. So keep us informed. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Erik Maes from Renta Solutions, Aliaksandr Kuushynau of Gurtam. Thank you for answering the questions. And I wish you a nice afternoon. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Steven, for having
Thank you,
us.
Steven.
Bye-bye.
Bye.